all good things come to an end, and this is probably one of the last videos I'll make about this car. I just wanted to go over the 5 things that I love about this car and the 5 things that have been frustrating. But yeah, this has been an amazing car, and I think she's got a lot of personality. And Mocha Madness is her name, by the way, because she's a metallic mocha color. They only made 500 of the mochas, and I think the carbon fiber dash was also pretty rare. But yeah, this has just been a sweetheart of a car, and she's got a lot of personality. So these are the 5 things that I love about this car and I will miss, and then there are 5 things I don't like so much about this car, but I'll tell you all of that. I just love the design of this car. It's such a great shape. To me, it reminds me of the kind of the old Jaguar XJs a little bit. And the old Model S's have the chrome, which I know chrome is kind of goes in and out of fashion, but the other thing this car has is the cool nose cone. All of them today have the catfish face, I call it. And also I like these lights right here. These are turning lights. I mean, they're fog lights here, but these are turning lights here. So what happens is when you turn the wheel real sharp, these lights light up the side. I don't even think the new cars do that. Now I know the new cars do have directional lights, but this really shines up like almost a 90-degree angle, which is pretty cool. So if you're coming into a real dark alley or something, you can really see with this. But yeah, there's a little projector light right here, and I don't think the new cars have that at all. But yeah, just to look at this car is just beautiful. So this will be one of my final videos about this car that I love so much. You know, in 2013, I drove up to Washington, D.C., and I'll flash this picture up. But I saw this car that sold for $120,000, this Performance Model S. Sorry about the birds. But this was a Mocha Model S in Washington, D.C., and I was in love with it. It was $120,000. My wife looked at me like I had 3 heads. She said, no way. But in 2020, I got this car for $29,000, bought it at the Orlando Toyota dealership. And it's funny because that was right when COVID hit, and they were just scrambling to get rid of anything they could. So I bought this car for $29K with like 98,000 miles on it. Now it has 220,000, and it's 2025. So I've had it for 5 years, and it's just been a great car. But you know, going to the design and the look, like I was talking about. The other thing it has is on the inside. You know, it's got the carbon fiber dash, the 17-inch main screen, and then this 12-inch driver screen. You can see the carbon fiber right there. And it has these gray leather seats. This is real leather, not like the pleather you get today. And it has the Alcantara on the sides. But all in all, I just think it's a really beautiful design. In 2012, when this car first came out, it was like a spaceship, you know. And of course, I still get all the updates and all the good stuff. Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, car karaoke on a 12-year-old car, which is great. So it has a big hatch, which is great, which, you know, I store a ton of stuff back there. But the front trunk is really massive in this car because it doesn't have a front motor that would be right there. And then there's a HEPA filter, you know, even forward to that in the new cars. So this would all be plastic, and then it would be cut about right here. And so you had this small little trunk area. Sorry, it's a mess. But yeah, this trunk, I've put strollers in here. I put a car seat in here one time, you know, suitcases. So we go on a road trip. This car is great because you have this storage, and then you have the storage in the back. Another thing I love is rear wheel drive. So these rear tires take a beating, and this is a 420 horsepower rear wheel drive Model S. And I can't tell you how many more rear tires I've gone through than the front tires. But this is a really fun car to drive. The all-wheel drive Teslas are great, but you can feel the weight of the steering Whereas this rear wheel drive, the front feels light almost. The steering wheel feels light. It feels connected to the road. So it reminds me, I used to have an old Pontiac Firebird. You could just sling the rear end out a little bit. But this has got that muscle car feel to it because it's all rear wheel drive based. Now this did have the larger 21-inch wheels. These are the 19s. And the 21s handle great, but they just beat you to death. And they had these little tiny 35 profile rubber band tires on them. But yeah, this is just such a fun car to drive, I think. Because I've had loaners with the all-wheel drives, and it just doesn't feel, the steering wheel feels heavier. But yeah, this is just a fun car to drive. All right, another one would be free charging for life. This has free data streaming and free charging for life. I'll put those two together. But this is the charge port door, nicely integrated, which I like. You see a lot of the other cars, they have this huge square thing that's plastic, and you open it and it feels flimsy almost. But this is where the charge port door is. And this car has free supercharging for life. I've gone on 2,100 mile road trips with this thing, charged it free all the way. It's been great. And it does charge slower, but like I said, free charging and free data streaming for life is a huge plus. If I can spell insurance. So another one is cheap insurance. This car has very, very cheap insurance compared to the new cars. The new cars are more expensive to fix. This is obviously, older cars are cheaper to insure. So when I get the new car, it's going to be a Model Y, and my insurance will go up by about $400 a year. So it's not chump change, and so that's kind of one of the bummers. Now you hear that noise. A lot of people freak out when they get Teslas. So that is, I think it's part of the air suspension. It's been doing it for 5 years. It's never been a problem, but it's just so funny. It makes this gurgling noise. Some people said it could be the air conditioning, but I don't think so because the AC is off. But it's such a funny noise in this car. Anyway, so back to 5 of the things I don't like about this car. So this is obviously a sedan, but this right here, I can't tell you how many times myself and other people have hit their heads getting in and out of this car. And that's just a sedan versus SUV thing, but I will not miss, hopefully I'll hit my head less in the Model Y because it's a different door and different seating position. So another thing I don't like about this car is see the distance in the back doors? And this is another sedan versus SUV thing. The Model Y, the doors are almost square. When you open this door, you can see this distance from here to here. So when you go to get in, it's kind of tight getting in. The other thing you'll notice about this car is there's no camera here. So a lot of the Teslas have a camera here. They have a camera here. There's no camera there. So this has no autopilot, and that is a big issue. There's no automatic braking. There's no adaptive cruise control. It just has old-fashioned cruise control. So that's an issue, especially for a long commute that I do. I'd love to have some automatic driving. And that leads me to another point. Because you don't have any cameras anywhere, there's no Sentry mode. So we had an issue at work at a parking garage, and we had a guy in the parking garage vandalizing cars, and there was one Tesla in the garage, and we actually asked that owner, we said, hey, can we look at your cameras? No problem. And so we were able to get the footage. We gave it to the police. The police, they knew who it was, and so they served a warrant, and so that was great. But the Sentry mode saved the day on that incident, and I would love to use Sentry mode for the dash cam functionality and things like that. And the last thing I want to talk about is just things breaking. As this car gets older, it's 12 years old, it's it's just, she's a tired old girl, and I could put a lot of money into it and fix every little niggle, but this driver door, you can hear that. I needed door hinges replaced, and that's, you know, it's like $800 for the hinges. And the other thing is I had a window regulator replaced because the window got stuck down, and that was about $700. But ever since then, this window has been real squeaky, real, you know, I mean, it's never not gone up and down. It's been great, but it just feels like it's going to break any second. So there's something wrong here. I've taken it back to get it worked on, and they just can't figure out how to make this less. Now, on the other, see the other ones, they're fine, but there's just something about this driver window. Now, you know, 200-something thousand miles, obviously there's something tired and worn out that needs to be replaced. The other thing, it's never been an issue. This is kind of funny, but you can't hear it very well, but that brake pedal, when I drive, sometimes it squeaks. They've tried to fix that squeak in there, and they haven't been able to fix that, but it hasn't ever been an issue. But you know, just a small few niggly little issues. You know, I did have condensation in the tail lights. They replaced all the tail lights. These were like $300 per side, so it wasn't too bad, but I haven't had any condensation issues ever since I got the new tail lights. The previous owner, I think, replaced these with the new generation lights, and these door handles have been great. I'm sorry, the new generation door handles. They went to a metal system inside, because these used to have a plastic little retractor in there. But yeah, these door handles have been great. I actually like them a lot. The new Model Y, you've got to push here, then pull, and I think these are more elegant. Now, I will say, I've actually got my hands pinched, because if this thing decides to pull the door handles in, and you have your finger here just kind of hanging out, these will pinch your fingers, so you got to watch out. But yeah. Boy, I'm sure I'm gonna miss this car. So since I posted those other videos, I've had two friends of mine text me, say they want the car. So I said, you got a couple days until I go to Tesla, so better come get it. But it's just so much car for the money. I mean, Tesla offered me $7,500, and it's free data streaming for life, free supercharging for life, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. You know, everything works. There's nothing wrong with the car. There's no error lights. There's no warning lights. Of course, I don't have my seatbelt on, but I'm just driving through the neighborhood. But this is how crazy I am. After I wash the car, I drive it a few hundred feet just to clear the disc off, so the brake discs don't rust. Because this car has the original brake pads from 2013. And they have 50% pad life left, because I always use regen, the strong regen. Yeah, like I say, this is a heck of a car for the money, and somebody could really enjoy this. This would be a great first kid car. Of course, I don't know if I want my kid going 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. All right, brake discs are all cleaned off. There we go. Put it in park. Oh, look, I have a real stock instead of the new ones that have the screen thing. But yeah. Oh, here's what's cool. Might as well record this for posterity. So I got the new MCU. Gosh, must have been 2021. Or no, maybe it was. Yeah, I think it was 2021, because I got it with 98,000. So it's been 105,000 since I replaced the computer and brain in the car with the new one. And you can see I've used 30,000 kilowatts of electricity, which is a lot of electricity. I'm not an electrician, but that seems like a lot. Yeah, since I charged it last, I've used 5 kilowatts. 36,000 on this trip meter. It's cool, it gives you all these different trip meters. But you can see my watts, 187 watts per mile, which is pretty neat. Go straight back.
Got it. Why did they just take your car? Hi. Welcome to Bryce's channel on YouTube. Thank you for watching.